Yesterday we had discussed about what consumer equilibrium, right? So consumer is equilibrium is equal to what? Marginal utility must be equal to price, right? Marginal utility of a commodity must be equal to price. That is what we will call it as what consumer equilibrium. So consumer equilibrium in the aspects of price or else money. Okay, consumer equilibrium in the terms of money in the sense what there is MUX divided by PX, which is equal to what? Marginal utility at money. The X one there, it represents the commodity. Okay, fine. So now we are about to discuss consumer equilibrium in case of two commodities. Guys, any doubts so far? Because once you need to understand about a single commodity, then easily you can able to understand double commodity or two commodity. So what about single commodity? Have you all got my point? Are doubts irka, both of them?
No doubt, sir.
Shall I proceed? Okay. So once
Yes,
again, I
sir.
just recap you. When a consumer will be equilibrium in the sense marginal utility must be equal to price. When marginal utility is greater than price in the sense what they will do, they will increase the consumption. Okay, we increase the consumption. Our consumption ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುம்போது என்ன ஆகும்? When our marginal utility is greater than price, what they will do, so they will increase the consumption. When we increase the consumption, automatically என்ன ஆகும்? The utility derived from each successive unit falls. இல்லையா? When we eat a chocolate more and more and more, automatically என்ன ஆகும்? The satisfaction level will falls down, right? The very first glass of juice, okay, mango juice. Okay, so while consuming first glass, we will get more utility. When we are consuming second glass of mango juice, the utility little falls. Third glass of mango juice, again the utility falls. Okay, so when we increase the consumption, utility will falls. Then automatically, what will happen? Marginal utility will be equal to price. That is what equilibrium, consumer equilibrium. In case when marginal utility, okay, is lesser than price. அப்ப என்ன ஆகணும்? So when marginal utility is very less. Okay, so what we need to do? We need to increase marginal utility. How we can able to increase by reducing the consumption. How can we reduce? For example, when when consumption increases, utility decreases. And so later we have studied in more law of marginal utility. So when we decrease consumption, automatically reverse utility increases. In that factor, so in this condition, when we increase consumption, automatically decrease. When we decrease consumption, automatically marginal utility will increase. Then it will be equal to price. So this is what called as consumer equilibrium in single commodity. So when a consumer, so we have derived this consumer equilibrium only in utility. But when we need to, okay, so what is equilibrium in the sense that is, okay, so we have derived this only in the terms of utility. So when we want to derive consumer equilibrium in the terms of money, marginal utility suffix m is it is money. That is marginal utility of product X divided by price of product X. So this is the formula for what? Consumer equilibrium in single commodity. Got it? Now we are about to discuss consumer equilibrium in two commodity. The law of the diminishing marginal utility, DMU, in the sense it is diminishing marginal utility applies in case of either one commodity or one use of commodity. However, in real life, a consumer normally consumes more than one commodity. In such a situation, law of the equal marginal utility helps in optimum allocation of his income. Okay, so anyhow, so in our life, is it possible to consume only one commodity? No. And for example, will you buy same chocolate all the time? Only one chocolate all the time? No. Okay. So either we
No,
will buy
sir.
more than, okay, we will go and we will buy a pencil. Okay, we will buy a pencil and we will buy a chocolate. Right? So it is not possible for a human being to buy only one commodity. Okay, so for example, we are going to a shop. There we bought a pencil for 15 rupees. Okay, and we bought 5 rupees chocolate, dairy milk. So definitely we will buy two and more commodities. Okay, so that is what say they are saying here. So consumer equilibrium in two commodities. It is also called as what? Substitution, law of substitution, law of maximum satisfaction, Goosen's second law. So, what is substitution? Anyone? Let me give you one example. We have seen in our normal life, Amava, normal life. For example, in you're going to a shop, okay. So you want to drink something very hot due to the climate, okay, due to this weather. You want to drink something hot, so you went to a coffee shop. There you are about to ask coffee. So the shopkeeper is saying, "Sir, we don't have coffee. Instead of that, we have tea." So immediately, what you will do? Will you drink tea or will you leave that bakery? Hmm? Hello, mic testing. Am I audible?
Yes,
So
sir.
substitution. What is
Yes,
substitution?
sir.
I am talking about substitution. You are going to a shop. You are going to give a. You are about to drink coffee, but they are saying, "Sir, we don't have coffee." So instead of that, what we will do? We will have some tea. Yeah. So that is for substitutions. Okay. So that is what law of substitution. The substitution in the sense this is what, okay. Again, for another example, we'll be going to a shop. We like, okay. So which one you like more, Pepsi or Pepsi or Coke? So among this, which one you will like?
Coke, sir.
Coke. Okay, fine. So you people are traveling, okay, in a highways. So in a shop, you are about to buy Pepsi. You like Pepsi very much, but they are saying, "So we don't have Pepsi. We have only Coke." So what you will do? Will you say no? I don't want, or else will you buy Coca Cola? Tell me the answer.
Sir, we will buy Coca-Cola, sir.
Why? Why?
Sir, because we need something to drink, sir. So it may be
Hmm.
substitute for Pepsi, sir.
Yes, fine. That's good. Okay, that is called substitution. What is substitution? Instead of Pepsi, we'll buy Coke. Instead of tea, we'll have coffee. Instead of milk tea, we'll have black tea. Okay, this is what we will do. Fine. That is what called as substitution. Fine. So let us back to the topic now here. So this consumer equilibrium in case of two commodity, okay, it is also called as law of substitution, law of maximum satisfaction, law of Goose second law. Okay, fine. As law of equal marginality is based on law of diminishing marginality. What is law of diminishing marginality? When we consume more and more of commodity, automatically the utility derived from each successive unit falls down. Let us now discuss equilibrium of consumer by taking two goods X and Y. Okay, so two goods X, Y. So one X one day or good one day we will have dairy milk. Another one we can go for munch. Okay, got it.
Okay, sir.
So one
Yes,
example
sir.
we go for dairy milk, and another product we will go for munch. Fine. So here there are two commodities. Okay, X, Y. The same analysis can be extended for any number of goods. In case of consumer equilibrium under a single commodity, we assume that the entire income was spent on one commodity. Now, consumer want to allocate this money between the two goods to attain equilibrium position. Okay, in previously we have discussed consumer buys only one commodity, so that is, so he can be the consumer equilibrium will be is equal to what price. Now what happened? He is about to buy two commodities, say dairy milk and munch. So here how he will allocate money. Okay, allocate means what? How he is planning to buy dairy milk or munch. Okay, so to get equilibrium, fine. Let's back to the topic now. So the single commodity. Okay, so here you can see this marginal utility here. That is MU, the MU, that is marginal utility is equal to price. That is what consumer equilibrium of single commodity. So in terms of what equilibrium condition also expressed, that is MUX divided by PX, which is equal to marginal utility of money, right? Yes or no? Yes. So here for the double commodity, okay, say X, okay, X will be called it as dairy milk and Y we can call it as munch. So how a consumer will be equilibrium in the sense there is marginal utility of dairy milk divided by price of dairy milk, which is equal to marginal utility of munch divided by price of munch, which is equal to marginal utility of money. Okay. So this M இது ரெண்டுமே வந்து which represents munch, this M represents money. So how a consumer will be equilibrium in two commodities. This is one commodity, this is two commodity. Okay. So there is this is dairy milk. This commodity will be munch. So the marginal utility of dairy milk divided price of dairy milk is equal to marginal utility of munch divided by price of munch, which is equal to what a marginal utility of money. Okay, in simple way, how a consumer will be equilibrium in two commodity in the sense marginal utility of dairy milk divided by price of dairy milk, which is equal to marginal utility of munch divided by price of munch. Okay, so this is what we will call it as consumer equilibrium in two commodity. Have you all got my point? Can you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
So both,
Sir.
okay. So we bought dairy milk for 10 rupees and munch for 5 rupees. 5 rupees, okay. But we need to satisfy both. So both the commodity satisfies us. So that in that case we will call it as consumer equilibrium is what? Consumer equilibrium in two commodity. Suppose you can see there are two conditions. Okay. Suppose what we will do here, there is a munch. Okay, the marginal utility of munch, okay, is greater than dairy milk, or else dairy milk greater than munch. In that case, what we will do? Okay, let me share this now whiteboard. Can you able to follow me, guys? ஏதாவது குழப்பற மாதிரி இருக்கா? Can you able to understand what I am teaching?
Yes, sir.
ஏதாவது if you feel something confused, you can please let me know. Okay. So no need to hesitate, no need to get fear. So only we three. So I can feel free, comfortable. Any doubts, please ask me immediately. So now let's back to point here. In previous example, okay. So is it visible, guys? Whiteboard. Okay. In previous example, we have studied marginal utility of commodity X divided by price of commodity X is equal to what? MUM, marginal utility in terms of money. This is what the single commodity நம்ம discuss பண்ணோம். Now in double commodity, marginal utility of dairy milk divided by price of dairy milk is equal to marginal utility of munch. Sorry, we'll go for another color. Marginal utility of munch divided by price of munch. Then only we will call it as equilibrium. இப்போ in case what happened here, so marginal utility of dairy milk divided by marginal utility of marginal utility of dairy milk is greater than price of dairy milk compared to munch. So what we will do here, we will increase the consumption of dairy milk. When we consume more dairy milk, what will happen? Utility falls down. Yes or no? Yes. When we
Yes, sir.
consume, yesterday
Yes,
in
sir.
Varshini said, sir, I will take minimum 3. Alagustin said, sir, 5. In case if it is long break, I will go more than 5. So in case if you go more than 5, like 10, automatically go. The utility derived from dairy milk falls down. Yes or no? Here, what happened? That the marginal
Yes, sir.
utility is greater than what? The marginal utility of dairy milk is greater than munch. So in this case, what happened? We need to increase the consumption of what? Consumption of this. We need to increase the consumption of this munch. Okay. Munch increase ஆகும்போது என்ன ஆகும் automatically the satisfaction derived from munch will falls down. So automatically what will happen here? The marginal utility of the dairy milk divided by price of dairy milk will be equal to what? Equal to marginal utility of munch divided by price of munch. Got it? Clear?
Sir.
Okay, so we'll go for second option, second example. Now what happened here? So here marginal utility of dairy milk divided by price of dairy milk, which is what happened? Lesser than the marginal utility of munch divided by price of munch. So what we will do? We will here dairy milk is dairy milk marginal utility of dairy milk is greater than what munch. So what we will do? We will decrease the consumption of dairy milk. In previous example, we will increase the consumption of dairy milk. Up enago. So the utility falls down and it will be equal, right? Both the commodity will be equal. Now what happened? The marginal utility of dairy milk is greater than munch. So what we need to do? We need to decrease the consumption of what? Munch. So sorry, we need to increase the consumption of what? Dairy milk. So the utility will increase. Yes, clear? Then automatically the marginal utility of dairy milk will be equal to marginal utility of what? Marginal utility of dairy milk will be equal to marginal utility of munch divided by price of munch. Got it? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So shall I go for next?
Yes, sir.
So next. So this is what the commodity, two commodities. Okay. Whatever we have discussed so far, this is here. Okay. So this is marginal utility of dairy milk, marginal utility of water, munch. Okay. Marginal utility of dairy milk, marginal utility of munch. So what happened? So you can see marginal of the first time 2016. So this is second while consuming second dairy milk 1412. While consuming third time, the third dairy milk gives us 12 and the munch will give us 8. So the what the Utility derived from each and every successive unit. Successive units in the sense what? Now, first time, second time, third time, what happened? The utility falls down. Utility means the satisfaction. So when we plot a graph, you can see the graph. You can see. So first time நம்ம என்ன பண்ணியிருக்கோம் சாப்பிடும் போது we got 20 in munch. Sorry, in dairy milk. This is munch. So 16. Okay. So you can see when the so second time while consuming a marginal utility. Am I audible, guys? So the utility falls down. Yeah. Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir.
Okay. So the same
Yes,
like
sir.
first example, when we increases the consumption, or else when we increases the number of the number of dairy milk and munch, automatically now each successive unit the what happened, the things falls down, the utility falls down. So now we are drawing a graph, just we plot a graph. We have taken x, okay, units in x axis, okay, and we have taken this marginal utility of munch and dairy milk in y-axis. Now we will plot a graph here. You can see. So this is what commodity. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see the same graph. So there are two different graphs. Okay, this is for one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is for water. Number of commodity. This is for munch. You can see, and this is the another graph they have taken. Same graph. In same graph they are drawn. They have plotted two. Okay. So this is for marginal utility of munch. Okay. So this is marginal utility of dairy milk. So though now they have taken. You can see x-axis 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is in x dash axis. Okay, so they are taken what is reverse 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what happened? So this is um, you can see this one. This is what marginal utility of dairy milk. Sorry, yes, marginal utility of dairy milk. Okay, you can see. So first come out first when we consume for first time, the marginal utility goes to where of dairy milk 20 and marginal utility of munch is 16. Right. The marginal utility of when we consume first commodity, marginal utility of dairy milk goes to 20, and marginal utility of dairy milk is dairy milk is 20, munch is 16. Now you can see. So 20. This is marginal utility of dairy milk, and 16. Okay. So this is also here also 16. Here 16 தான். So the marginal utility of munch. Okay. X வந்து என்னது dairy milk, Y வந்து munch. Now what happened when we are consuming second time? Okay. When we consume second time, the marginal utility of dairy milk is 14 and munch is 12. Okay. So here 14. Marginal utility of dairy milk is 14 and This is 12. Okay. So next, the commodity, when we are taking commodity 3, so marginal utility of dairy milk is 12 and munch is 8. Okay. So now what happened? So here, when we consume third time, what happened? The marginal utility of dairy milk 12, whereas marginal utility of munch is what? 8. Okay. So you can see this is 3 and this is 3. So now which one is equilibrium in the sense the point where dairy milk, okay, so this is utility of dairy milk is equal to utility of munch. That point we will call it as equilibrium. Got my point? The point E, that means the where the price of that is marginal utility of dairy milk divided by price of dairy milk is equal to marginal utility of munch divided by price of munch, which is to be called as what? Consumer equilibrium in double commodity. Clear? Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? Hello,
No
Srinidhi,
doubt,
doubts
sir.
இருக்காங்களா? Okay, so இது வந்து பார்த்தோம்னாக்க they have drawn the two graphs in single sheet. That's why இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும். But as like same here, what we have studied in a single commodity. Okay, the same graph. Fine. So finally, what happened? What is the conclusion? That is marginal utility of dairy milk divided by price of dairy milk, which is equal to marginal utility of munch divided by price of munch, which is equal to what? Consumer equilibrium. Got it? Clear? Any
Yes,
doubts?
sir. No
Okay,
doubt,
fine.
sir.
Next one is ordinal utility approach. Ordinal utility approach, which is also called as Hickson analysis. So for we have discussed about cardinal. Cardinal means it is what? Number. Yeah, we have studied cardinal in the sense it is number. Who gave which economist gave this approach in the sense it is Guzen. Okay, H.S. Guzen. He was the economist who gave this kind of observation. Okay, so whatever the drawbacks, Mr. Guzen, okay, the economist Guzen did, drawbacks naka. First thing is he asked us to find utility. வந்து என்னது? Yes, imaginary tool called util. Okay, imaginary tool always it will not work out. Okay, it is all everything is assumption. So fine, whatever the drawbacks, என்னென்னதெல்லாம் இதுல குறைகள் இருக்கோ, that drawbacks will be cleared by economics Hickson. Okay, so that is what we are going to discuss here. So both are two different approach what they are going to suggest. Okay, that is what approach means, what they are வழிமுறைகள். So here Guzen approach was called cardinal utility approach. So we can able to measure the satisfaction of a consumer with the help of what? Utility or utils. அதே மாதிரி utils வந்து என்ன பண்ணணும்? We need to convert into money அப்படிங்கும்போது that is marginal utility of commodity X divided by price of commodity X, which is equal to what? Marginal utility of money அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு we have studied already. Okay, so you can see. So these are all the recap. So finally, we have done with the cardinal utility approach. Now we are about to start ordinal. Okay. So before getting into this topic, I just want you people to just go through the concepts what we have studied so far. If you have any doubts, please let me know immediately. Just read